The idea is, as children, as we're born, what are the first few things that children love to do?
They love to dance.
And they love to sing.
We're live. Happy Sunday. Well, you'll be listening to this on Wednesday.
Maybe. Who knows? Hello, random day of the week, any day of the week.
It's us, Harley and Malarkey.
We just rolled out of bed with a little inspiration today. We went to an amazing celebration of life service yesterday for our good friend, somebody I've known for a long time. You didn't have the opportunity to meet them, Stacy Valencia. And as hard as celebration of life ceremonies are, especially for somebody who left us far too young and with so much to give, we had something that really resonated with us that we heard at the celebration of life story, and that was that Stacy loved to dance.
She did.
And that brought up the subject of singing and dancing.
It did. It's something that we've talked about a lot of times. And I think yesterday, hearing about it at the service, it just really was something that exemplified how full of life and joy Stacy was and how fun she was. I never got to meet her, but I was like, I would have loved this woman. And so I think there's a lot to say about singing and dancing.
So let's take it back. As children, this is what we were talking about. And we've mentioned this to ourselves before over the last few months. It's like, we need to dance more and we need to sing. And I am, self-described horrible singer, love to talk. I consider myself a brilliant talker, but man, can I not sing. The idea is, as children, as we're born, what are the first few things that children love to do?
They love to dance.
And they love to sing, right? And it's only upon somebody in the room, somebody seeing them going, oh, hey, take it easy, you're not very good. Hey, I don't know if you're that great of a singer, but it's the first thing that our first time our dreams get squashed.
Yeah.
And the amount of adults that are embarrassed to dance or embarrassed to sing is because of, in childhood, at some point, somebody made fun of them, somebody laughed at them, and they never recovered.
Yeah. And I remember both things happening to me. I was very young and I had this little recorder where I would sing into my microphone and I could record it onto a tape. And I thought I was going to be the next superstar. And I just loved it. Every day I would run around the house with my recorder and my tape. And I think my parents finally just got sick of I too have a self-proclaimed horrible voice. And we're just like, just so you know, you sound horrible. You can't carry a tune. I don't know if they even made it any nicer than that, considering I was 3 or 4 years old. But I just remember being jolted out of this dream that I was in and that oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. But before I wasn't embarrassed, I was just having fun expressing myself. And I remember the same thing happened with dancing. I just thought I was this amazing dancer. And I was dancing all around my backyard. I had my tutu on. My dad had his home video out. And I really thought I was going to be another, Mickey Mouse Club star. So, maybe being that delusional, someone needs to knock you down a bit. But I heard my parents laughing or making fun of me, just that I just was a horrible dancer too. And I remember I don't think I ever really danced or sang again after those 2 times. That might not be true, but.
And the reality is, we probably all suck at dancing and singing. Most of us are just not very good. But that doesn't mean you can't do it, right? We have to be able to give ourselves that hall pass, that freedom to express ourselves. Because let me tell you something, if you're ever not feeling good, right, and you're just having a bad day, if you start shaking your body, just waving your arms, kicking your legs, wiggling your head a little bit, you're going to start feeling better. It just gets the motion and the energy happening, and it releases.
Yeah. I mean, it's also scientifically true. They did a recent study, I think it was an Australian study, and they compared all these different interventions for depression, including an SSRI, Tai Chi, karate, yoga, dancing. And the thing that had the greatest effect on depression, on getting rid of depression, was dancing. It was at the top of the list, more effective than a drug.
If the Australians are telling us this, that whole continent was founded by convicts and horrible, criminals from London that they shipped over there. Those people must know how to release.
There's this book called A Body Keeps the Score. And it talks about how trauma gets stored in our body. And that's one of the reasons why yoga is good for you. because you can help work out some of this trauma that gets stored in the body. It's this very thick book with a lot of scientific references in there.
I didn't read that book.
Dancing is one of the best ways to get rid of trauma that's stuck in the body, or just like shaking your body out. Like if you watch animals, like when they get up or if something stressful happens to them, they'll shake it off. And it's like a natural response to let go of stress in your body.
So what we're saying here is no matter what projections have been put on your singing and dancing ability, just let your freak flag fly and let it out, you guys. It's part of that also not really caring what other people think.
Yeah.
And that's a huge step too. Sing like nobody's listening, because they're probably not. If it's in your car, get it on. If it's in your house, get it on. Have fun. Scream, yell. I've seen that like on Instagram where the ladies are all in the forest and they have those screaming fits.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a watch.
Yeah, it's a release.
It's a release. And then just dancing like nobody's watching. And it's really resonates. And when you hear about somebody whose life came to an end far too short and they love to dance, and you just go, gosh, when does my clock stop ticking? And when will I ever regret not dancing, singing, laughing, loving, enjoying life enough?
Yeah. And I think it actually relates to quitting drinking in a way too, because I think that that's kind of the times when people dance. You dance when you're a kid before you realize that you're a shitty dancer and you're afraid of being judged. And then people dance when they're drunk, when they have lost all their inhibitions because of alcohol. But there's something really, really freeing about dancing sober.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's very courageous.
And it's like, when you start a car on a cold winter's morning, you like it doesn't really want to get going right away, but as it warms up, it starts sounding better, feeling better, So you guys just can't take that first like 5, 10, 20, 30 seconds of dancing. You got to kind of warm up into it, you got to get going. You can dance with yourself in the mirror, dance in the dark, dance wherever you want to. But once you get the juices flowing, we went to like a dance party thing kind of in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
It was kind of
it was like a sacred dancing circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it felt funny.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
But after about 3-5 minutes, you're like, fuck it, let's just dance, So if it doesn't come easy to you, it doesn't mean stop. It means you just got to keep on going. You got to break on through to the other side.
And I never judge people for dancing badly. Like if somebody's dancing badly, but they look like they're having the time of their fucking lives, I'm like, I love that person.
The more people are willing to express themselves and the sillier they look, the more you love it.
Yeah. No, it's very true.
Yeah. And, I'm so sad, my kids, and you see these kids that you remember as little children, like shaking their little booties, having so much fun, waving, giggling. They won't dance at all now.
No.
They just will not. It's completely shut out. And it's such a freeing, easy thing and literally free thing that you can do to entertain and have fun and really, get it out.
They're in like the spotlight developmental phase of their adolescence, which is this time of life where you think that like when you walk outside your house, like everybody is looking at you and judging you, and that you haven't quite realized that you're not the center of the universe yet. It's like a normal phase through adolescence, but you just think that everything you do, like everybody around you is watching you, but nobody is. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, it's a good point. You've brought that up to me before. Do you know who everybody cares the most about? Themselves, right? And yeah, my kids are scared to take risk. They're scared to do something silly. Like even if I like laugh too loud in public, they shut me down. If I talk too loud in public, they're like, hey, I'm like, nobody cares.
No,
nobody cares. All right. Everyone's more concerned with themselves and what's going on in their own little world. I mean, just really getting to that point of realizing nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
About you. They just care about themselves. So have fun and really to live in that life where you don't care if other people judge you, because what only really matters is what you think of yourself and how you feel about others.
Yeah. And I mean, how people judge you is not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of themselves and their own issues and all the things they're judging about themselves. Like, it has nothing to do with you.
As my mom always used to say when we were young, all judgment is self-judgment, right? And I was like, oh, I fucking hate it when you say that, maybe. But it's the truth. You don't make fun of something that you don't recognize already in yourself.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I don't know. I'd have to wrap my head around that. It's still pretty early in the morning.
Mm.
I definitely judge people. I try not to judge people, but like I do. And I definitely judge people for things that I would never fucking do. But
I see somebody at a concert and they're dancing and they might just be doing that Elaine. Did you ever watch Seinfeld?
I judge people for being assholes, I guess.
I judge people for judging people.
You are very judgmental. I'm judgmental because of you.
Shut up. We're trying to act like we're smart here and we're trying to move past judgment. So, but at a concert, when I see that person doing the Elaine, you know, the old Seinfeld, like the dance, just like really horrible, I fucking love them. I love them. I'm like, get it, own it. You are you, be you. And I, you know, and then I'm like, like, oh, I'm dancing. And I'm like, dude, just fucking loosen it up.
Yeah.
Shake that ass, white boy.
Shake that ass.
Shake that ass. I remember a long time ago, I was dating a girl. I know I love these stories. Yeah, I had a girlfriend before you. And I was at this wedding and I was dancing and I was like using my shoulders a lot. And she was like, don't dance with your shoulders. Don't dance with your shoulders. I think somebody told you that once.
My ex-boyfriend taught me that I only danced with my shoulders. I didn't know how to move my hips. He was like, you don't dance from your shoulders.
I think you dance any way you want. I think there are no rules in dancing unless you're a professional dancer. Other than that, break the rules, shake it, do some funky, crazy stuff, act like you're at Burning Man, and really just let loose.
And don't make fun of your friends. My friends make fun of my dancing, which I don't know. I guess you can make fun of your friends.
It's cute. It's cute, you know? We have opportunities in our dance, but it's a lifetime of practice and you'll never accomplish your goal. We're not professional dancers.
No, and it's something we've been doing since the dawn of time. I mean, did chimpanzees dance?
They shake a little bit. Yeah. They giggle. I don't know. I got to turn some music on.
Cave people were singing and dancing. And that's
the Native Americans dancing around the fire, letting loose, really getting connected to your spirituality, your fun, your growth, you know? So singing's different. I wish I had the confidence to sing. Mm-hmm. I would love to sing. But then I watched some singers. And I realized that it's not so much this big like air in and this and that. I mean, we're not like Whitney Houston's. You're not like these Celine Dion's. It's, I mean, hip hop, rap. And, you know, people are doing this more kind of like, you know, even that white boy reggae I love to listen to. It's more just kind of talk, conversation, boom, 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 to beats.
Yeah.
So
you could take voice lessons if you wanted to.
Can we start a band?
Okay. I'll play the tambourine.
One day you'll look back at life and be like, oh, you will never apologize for having danced too much, having laughed too loud, having loved as much as you possibly can. These are the regrets you do not want in life. So run at them, laugh at yourself.
Shake that ass.
Shake that ass. Shake those shoulders. Do what you do. Channel your inner Uncle Palmer.
He actually recently did a slow twerk for us at a concert we were at.
It was real.
He said, have you ever seen a slow twerk? And we're like, no, Uncle Palmer, show us the slow twerk.
It was slow.
It made us all laugh.
It was good.
I think that's your homework this week. Do a little sober dance. See how you feel. You don't have to be around anyone. You could just be in front of the mirror.
And there's nothing better than, you know, if you have kids, embarrassing your kids. If you have a loved one, embarrass them, grab them. And you know what it is the thing that brought me the most tears. And I was so happy I was actually able to cry rain from my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm broken. That's almost like
vulnerability.
It's almost like my dancing and my singing. It's something that was kind of taken away. I was raised in a very stern kind of cowboy upbringing where, you know, boys don't cry, don't don't you shed a tear. And I haven't cried much in my life. And yesterday I was happy to know the sprinklers work. And the thing that really got us the most was that they had this kind of celebration before our friend Stacy passed. And as told by one of the friends that was there, that they danced underneath the
disco ball
to
You're Still the One.
You're Still the One by Shania Twain. And that song happened to come on. We did a little Shania Twain last night, and it just made me bawl, made us both cry, and saying, those are the moments that will live forever. And that was their song where they just reconfirmed their life commitment, their life love over a nice slow dance. You don't have to dance crazy. You don't have to turn up the music loud, but your loved ones, be it your kids, your partner, your parents, hold them and do a dance one time to a song that kind of resonates.
Yeah. And one of the best parts was they talked about how every Christmas it became this thing that everybody danced to All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. And Brian's biggest regret was that he didn't go and change the music before we walked out of there.
So Stacy loved to party. Obviously, she loved to dance. She loved trickery and laughing and having fun and games. And it was a very somber celebration of life. And Stacy was talking through me. But you have to realize, like, I do a lot of attention grabs. I mean, it's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
I firmly believe the whole world's still watching me. So I'm still lost in that childhood, adolescent phase right there. But I was like, Stacy was talking to me, and we were sitting at this beautiful house and overlooking this bluff, and we were celebrating her life. And she was going, Malarkey, you are dumb enough to do this. Go do it. I mean, she would tell me that in real life if she was alive. She'd be like, get your ass up there and go play All I Want for Christmas, Mariah Carey. Take the mic. Everyone's crying and being a pain in the ass. And I told them I wanted a celebration. Make them dance to a Christmas song now.
Yeah, in the middle of summer.
And I was queuing it up on my phone, and I saw the mic just sitting there, and everyone's hugging and crying. And I was like, I should just walk up and put my phone onto that mic right now, and everyone would dance and sing. And I was like, oh, would that be an attention grab for me? And I really think everybody should have done that. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
If life gives you an opportunity, take a chance, play All I Want for Christmas in the middle of summer by Mariah Carey to make people laugh and have fun. And that was me being too guarded.
Dance your heart out.
That was me not dancing.
Yeah.
I had a great opportunity to dance.
Then we played it in the car.
And we danced. We cried. We didn't sing.
I think that's it.
All I want for Christmas.
If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share with a friend, subscribe, and leave us a rating and review. Follow us at Harley and Malarkey Podcast on Instagram and send us a message to let us know what you want to hear next or have us answer your question on an upcoming episode. Tune in next week for more Old Dog New Tricks. Thank you for listening.